What did you think of your former Hall of Fame quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, admitting publicly, and he knew it. He said, I'm going to get blasted for this.
Yeah.
But he said, I was kind of hoping Kenny Pickett wouldn't do well, to make me look, boy, they really miss me because the guy they took in the first round isn't doing as well. What did you think of him publicly saying that?
Yeah, it's interesting. So he said it on his podcast, I guess. I'll give him credit for being honest because that's probably what a lot of retired quarterbacks think about the players that replace them, because I don't know, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like the competitiveness with the other people in your position group, probably, especially at the quarterback position, is something that follows you until maybe you die. You never really get over that. Although I guess you said once you quit football, you were done competing in sports and you didn't care anymore. But it's probably something that other retired quarterbacks have thought. It is interesting he said it because it is incredibly wow, that's pretty awful
petty.
To say.
Yeah, it's petty.
It's very petty because he was not a very good quarterback at the end of his career. So to not be able to mentally move on and be like, I'm happy for the guy. He's, Kenny Pickett's a young, I guess he was 23 or 24 when he was drafted, but he's still a young quarterback kind of taking over the reins. But it's probably not an uncommon feeling, right? I can't imagine it would be.
Jess, I am going to tell you, depending on situation, this is more prevalent than not.
Yeah.
Listen, and it could go as far as, I hold the record at Notre Dame wrestling for the fastest pin, 13 seconds. Now, wrestling was dropped here. They don't have it anymore. But if they did, and I hope it comes back to Notre Dame, I'll say it publicly. I don't want anybody to break my record. I want to hold that record. Now, if somebody breaks that record, I would like to be the first to shake their hand and say, good job. But how many times over the years I've had people come on air who've had a record and say, oh, records are made to be broken. Only a couple did they actually say, I don't want it to be broken. And I don't blame you. And let me ask you this. If you were in a golf tournament coming to the end where winning and money was on the line, and you're standing on the edge of the green, you've putted out, and there's a guy or a girl putting a 5-footer, if they miss it, you win. You can't tell me in your mind you're not hoping they miss that thing. I keep hearing, golf is a respectable sport. You don't wish bad on others. Bullshit. You want that guy or that girl to miss that putt so you win.
Well, yeah, but in this case, I don't think there's anything Roethlisberger wins or loses from Kenny Pickett. If Kenny Pickett ends up breaking Big Ben's records in Pittsburgh, that would probably be really surprising. That's not to say he might not be the franchise quarterback there, but Roethlisberger was there for such a long time and played in so many games and won multiple Super Bowls. It just surprises me whenever I hear someone who has been very successful at their position still have petty, hard feelings, because the chances of Pittsburgh having two back-to-back 18-season quarterbacks in this league in this time period and being as accomplished, as each other, that's probably pretty unlikely, right? It doesn't happen, let alone back-to-back. So that's where I'm like, why can't you just be happy for the guy? But again, I don't listen to his podcast. I'm not a huge fan of whatever he's doing there. I'm ready for the new era in Pittsburgh, so I'm happy for Kenny Pickett, and I hope that he is a successful quarterback.
Listen,
there.
It's petty as hell, Jess. There's no doubt about it. My point is, and all situations are different, that if you're sitting there in training camp in competition with another player, you can't control how he plays, but you hope he plays bad. There's more than that out there than meets the eye. And with Ben, is it petty? Yes. And he even admitted, as I said, I'm going to get blasted for this, but I'm just telling you, in different situations, more often than not, there is in the mind wishing there's failure to a person either
100%.
at my position,
Mike,
or
I agree with you. I wish ill on people I'm playing pickleball against all the time. I'm just saying, when you're an elite athlete, that's when I find it hard to understand, still being petty about a rookie in the league, right? If it's me against someone like me and neither of us are professional athletes and it doesn't really matter. I want to win, obviously, but you just have these images of these ultra competitive people in your mind that but why does LeBron James care about who the next guy is in the league? He's freaking LeBron James. There's so few questions about his legacy, and Ben Roethlisberger is not LeBron James, but in Pittsburgh he is. So that's when I'm like, you kind of expect to see someone be quote unquote the bigger person, but I agree with you. It's probably way more common than you think.